Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sun's Room Studio presents Mics with Benefits, first time ever special sessions with L squiggly line C. So, L squiggly line C, what are we actually calling this squiggly line today?
Well, it makes the Enya sound, but it looks like a wave, which is the reason I use it. I guess it's technically a tilde, as we learned from a music theory professor named Jim Benikoff, which we all know and love, that local legend.
Yes, tilde. Thank you, Jim. All right, so we're going to run four, maybe a fifth song if you get lucky.
Okay.
Basically, this is an opportunity to go one-on-one and really get some time with the music creator, and the reason behind the music creation. So, first song on the docket, what's the name of the song?
This first song I want to do is called 79,000 Pounds, and it's just basically about trying to run a truck at night so that you can cross all the scales and ports of entry without getting weighed or checked or anything, because it's really hard to balance 79,000 pounds over all your axles correctly.
So why did you decide that this needed to be a song?
Because when you when you go out to drive a truck and you're a songwriter, every song tries to become about truck driving, and you're like, you just have to decide, all right. I've got to narrow it down to one or two songs here. They can't all be about truck driving.
Well, plenty of truck drivers out there, so there's got to be a market for the song. A rallying cry. He gets us! All right, let's hear it.
Screwed up, and I'm so sorry.
Wow, I'm keeping that
My
on
bad. There. All right, I'm going to start over if that's okay.
Yeah, good.
Got to make it today. It'll pass so far away. Can't let these sunshines catch us on the big highway. And if they want us to wait, I know a place we can stay. They got a real hot shower and a video game. Along the side of the road, crosses for TVs and phones, carrying the sins of a modern alone into the blue, where it touches the black, into the lights of the cities that collecting the crack. Got to make it today. El Paso far away. Can't let the sunshine catch us on the big highway.
badass. All right, truckers, you're going to have to buy that when it comes out. All right. So, number 2, what is the song about? What's the name? See, you never tell me the names of any of these songs. Even when I asked you on the episode, we talked about how you never do, and then you didn't.
That is true. I'm notorious for that. Yes.
So I don't know what almost any of your songs are called.
Yeah. So that last one was 79,000 pounds. And this one is going to be Who Will Remember?
All right. Who will remember?
Yes.
What's it about?
Now, this one's about an eccentric uncle that I had who was a kind of a self-taught genius on many different things. And he would just talk to us kids like we were adults. And it was great because he was so much fun to be around. So there's a lot of inside humor on this. He was very religious too, but he was also very wild and crazy and lots of fun to be around. And so there's lots of inside humor here that I don't want to explain because I don't want to demystify it too much. But remember, I will never, oh, ain't that rich, and I am for the poor. Golden eagles, spread plate holders, and crucifix, and wishbones over doors. Who remember, I beat till my heels bled. Listen, Mother Lord, you creeps and horsewhips, creatures, Sasha, Cordelia, and remember, I'll remember you, and remember, I'll remember you, I'll remember all these, baby, a little more than you think. Laughing at your TV and cry at your piano, and talking to yourself, standing one leg foot braced in your opposing knee, and towel on your arm like a waiter. Count your fingers and chew your pen and laugh out loud again. Bring me something over soaked in bouillon, garlic and an egg. Please remember flying pork chops and coffee cups and some NATO veins. And remember, I'll remember you. And remember, I'll remember you. I'll remember all these, baby, a little more than you think. And your sofa's not so heavy, could finally say what you mean. No. I sold my vacations and my holidays. Don't know what to do when I'll just give them away. I sold my vacations and my holidays. Don't know what to do when I'll just give them away. I sold my vacations and my holidays. Don't know what to do when I'll just give them away. I sold my vacations and my holidays. Don't know what to do when I just give them away.
Fabulous. Wonderful. So, next song. Name.
All right. Next song is going to be Ain't Your Dog.
Ain't Your Dog. And
Let's do Ain't Your Dog.
what's the motivation for this masterpiece?
Now, Ain't Your Dog is like no man wants to eat out of another man's hand. All right. And you don't want to be someone's pet, and you don't want to have a human pet either, right? That's just, the situation degrades us both. So it's like, I don't want to be your pet, and I don't want you to be my pet. Okay, let's just I ain't your dog. You're not my cat, and I ain't your dog. Basically.
All right.
Yeah. It works for women and for men, which is, as we'll see. Okay. Drag around cause you ain't got nothing better to do. You see me coming, you think that I got something for you. You see me going and you thinking that you're getting the ride. I let you in, you right quick one back. I know better than that. You ain't gonna curl up in my lap. I know better than that. I ain't your dog and you're not my cat. You flick your tail, lick your nail and rub your head on my leg. You'll make some hungry little puppies have to sit up and beg. You tease them treats until they're sleeping at the foot of your bed. Roll on over, shrug your shoulders, now you're playing. I know better than that. I ain't gonna crawl up in your lap. Oh, no, better than that. I ain't your dog and you're not my cat. Your dog and you're not my cat. My cat. My cat.
All right. So, down to the wire. One, possibly two songs left. What's the name of number 4?
This is going to be Pont Noir, which is my awful pronunciation for a bridge to noir, which is a film style, the film style noir. So, but it's also a trailer for a movie that doesn't exist except for in my mind. So, yes.
Unpopular take, but even French pronounced well sounds awful. So, should be fine.
People are like, wow, this guy's really fancy. Yeah. Until I run across someone who speaks French and goes, this guy's out of his mind. Anyway.
They already think that about us anyway.
Well,
so
yeah. All right. Nodding shadows, drifting lanes, blinding headlights, driving rain, moonlight, billboard, Pont-Veilleux Noir, Grand Hotel and Bar. That's where I stumbled in. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Chia Rose sings your Valentine. One night only again. Non aussi champon ce soir. Non aussi chapon enfin. Serrons Pont-Veilleux Noir. Non aussi champon toujours. Some crazy dream or highway psychosis, but something sad in that sweet bouquet of roses' eyes begged a question that her lips would never dare. Still I settled in, wished into a short well of gin, but the only tonic needed was that silk voice of Chia again. Non aussi chapon ce soir. Non aussi chapon enfin. Serrons Pont-Veilleux Noir. Non aussi champon toujours. She thought the joint had lost its charm. Maybe I didn't like the way that he grabbed her arm. Maybe the window was closing fast on all this so-called darkness before the dawn. She broke her last for 5. I knew that's when I would have to make mine. Out the back hall, with no curtain call, we gave him one last getaway line. Non aussi chapon ce soir. Non aussi chapon enfin. Serrons Pont-Veilleux Noir. Non aussi champon toujours. And we escaped the sea. We escaped finally. Chiaroscuro. Prendemi, andiamo.
I mean, it's least as good as Paul McCartney's Sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble. I wonder how the French felt about that. I mean, it's Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
He could probably...
He get away with anything
Yeah.
else, yeah.
Sir Paul.
I just chose the French motif because not only did it seem cool, but the word noir.
Well,
It's French, so
I
I
don't
was
think
like,
Paul
oh,
McCartney
okay.
can play guitar as well as you. So
Well, I did throw in some Italian at the very end because the lighting effect in noir films is chiaroscuro.
Oh.
So that was like, oh, okay, that needs to be the girl's name and the thing. So I threw in a little bit of Italian at the end. So it's not
you're
all.
a nerd.
Your lips to God's ears.
All right. Well, I think we've got plenty of time if you want to do one that maybe we haven't heard. Or one that we have that you want to get a nicer recording of.
Well, let's do this one because this is just fun. First she said that we had to end. said, oh, we can still be friends. And now she said, I hope you understand. Well, I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. No, I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. Arm around me and you draw me in. You say you're sorry and you call me friend, but then you turn around and do it again. I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. No, I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. Why? I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. No, I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand. Almost got you. You could love me if you ever did. I would let you if I still cared. And E could equal MC squared, but I never understand. I will never, ever understand. No, I'll never understand. I will never, ever understand.
Okay, great. So, what's the name of that song?
Understand?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
Yeah, I haven't come up with a name yet, but
Brilliant.
It's so obtuse.
It'll work. You know, people will remember that. They'll search it and they'll find it. And, you know, that's the trouble. Like, do you want to have an artistic name for the song, or do you want something that someone will actually be able to find?
yeah.
It's like, it depends on how many copies you're trying to sell, I guess. And in the age of no one selling copies, searchability is key. Search engine optimization, naming. Anyway, you heard it here first, folks. That song's called Understand. So, I'd like to say thank you to LC sign C, Wavy Line, whatever the fuck we're calling it.
Yeah, the EL wavy line SEA as in faux Mediterranean movement, furniture movement. Yeah.
Yes, easy to search. No one's going to fuck that up. I'd like to thank you for coming out to the very first Mics with Benefits special sessions hosted by me, Broke LJ, here in Son's Room Studio. And it's actually still in my son's room until we move to the new location. So you're going to be one of the last people to use this hallowed pandemic space before we move everything out. So
Very cool. Very cool.
with the actual Beatles albums on the wall behind you there. Sorry, Paul, for talking shit. All right, until next time, this is LC and Broke LJ signing out.